West Side, worldwide. Welcome to Story Time with OGLA Ron. Please don't forget to smash the like button, comments, and subscribe. Go to the website, and please don't forget to buy the merch. Today, I'm going to do a piece on a guy from the East Side that I've been knowing since I was youngster. His name is Zulu Pueblos.
Pueblo del Rio is a public housing project constructed in 1941, located in the Central Alameda neighborhood of South Central Los Angeles, California. Like other housing projects of the era, the Pueblo del Rios, they're originally designed to house low-income laborers at the factories south of downtown Los Angeles and military veterans. But during the 1970s, many of the factories which employed Pueblo del Rio's residents were closed down for good. This created a vacuum of opportunity in the area, and as a result, the crime rate skyrocketed. And by the mid-1970s, the Pueblo del Rios were known for its illegal activities all throughout South Central Los Angeles. Shootings, stabbings, assaults, gang activities, narcotics trafficking, and even vandalism were all frequent at the Pueblo del Rio. And much of these activities came from a few gangs in the area. But one of the biggest and most known gangs to not only come out of these projects, but also out of Los Angeles, is definitely gonna be the Pueblo Bishop Bloods. Today, we're addressing...
How did I get familiar with Zulu? That was one of the first names that I knew named Zulu besides the movie Zulu, the movie. So when I was in Leavenworth, we heard that it was a few Pueblos was coming. I think it was Jeffro and a few other guys, Potato Head and a few other guys. And I lived on the other side, and Zulu lived on the other side where all the other homies was at over there. And you know, one day I was going to the yard, and both of the units kind of collided, and I ran into Zulu, and I was like, "Hey man," he's like, "Hey man, where you from?" I say, "Man, I'm from LA. I'm from the east side of LA." He said, "Yeah, me too, man." He said, "I've been seeing you around and everything like that." He said, "Yeah, man, I'm from over there by 53rd Park, and I'm from the Pueblos." And I said, "Yeah, man." So we always used to call each other East Side, because you know one thing about the guys from East Side, we always have a brotherhood. I don't care if you Crips or Blood, if you in the feds or the state, we always have a little understanding, a little brotherhood. But while Zulu was there, you know, we played a little football together, a little baseball, little stuff like that. So I always seen him around, and we always used to go down to the Nation, and we used to go listen to a guy named Johnny X, and go to the rooms where they had the little things at, because Zulu was trying to get some time back. And I think one time the COs told Zulu to take his shoes off. And Zulu like, "Man, I don't think I'm gonna do that out here in this hallway like that. If you wanna have me take my shoes off, you got to take me to the lieutenant office and lock me up, because I'm not gonna take my shoes off, and somebody might, you know, you never know, somebody might try something." So I know they was walking on eggshells around Zulu, because you know Zulu is a kind of big guy, long arms and stuff like that, and you know, he one of them project guys wear boots with no socks and stuff like that. You know, he one of them rough guys. So I think they worked it out or fixed it out. But another time they tried to rush a couple of guys, and I know that they tried to rush him over there by the metal detector or something. But I don't know what happened to Zulu. I think they sent him to ADX, Marion, or he was coming from ADX and Marion. But you know, I had an opportunity to meet a guy, you know, from the East Side, because you know, it just depends where you go in the country or where you go in the prison system. You always see guys from the Pueblos. I was way in Denver one time and seen one of the Pueblos.
In the last 4 years, Denver's gangs have grown fivefold. Weapons arrests for juveniles have gone up 95%. Violent crime 60%. What happened to Colorado and what happened to Damon Roberts is not unusual. The National Centers for Disease Control say the recent wave of juvenile crime has become a public health crisis.
And he remembered me, I remember him, but I mean, I haven't really been a lot of places that I didn't never run into just one, guy from over the Villains or either the Pueblos. And we're just talking about this guy Zulu, man. I know that Zulu have a brother named Khallid Muhammad.
About Colin Ferguson, the man who shot a Jamaican black male who shot 6 people on the Long Island train. Mr. Muhammad speaks.
Where they set black inmates up in these jails and penitentiaries, and in particular there in Nassau County, and pulled all the black officers out and the black inmates so they could jump on Brother Colin Ferguson, because they were mad with him for catching the Long Island train and killing all them white folks. I love Colin Ferguson. I have no official position, so I can say I love him.
You love a man who randomly killed 6 people on a commuter train?
I love Colin Ferguson just as much as the masses of white Americans love General Schwarzkopf, General Westmoreland, General Patton, General MacArthur, and Eisenhower. America awards her killers, and they get ribbons and stripes and bars. I'm sensitive to the pain and suffering of the loss of life on that train.
Khallid Muhammad is one of the top guys in the revolution movement, and we was trying to get the crack law changed. And I know that Khallid Muhammad was associated with the Nation back then, and one guy tried to shoot Khallid Muhammad, and their security got the guy. And I used to see Khallid Muhammad traveling all around the country. He traveled around the country to try to help his brother, get out of prison. And I remember when Master P, he was sponsoring the Million Youth March in New York. And I remember when he was, this was around the same time as the Million Man March. And I seen that the Million Youth March in New York, I think Master P had kind of like sponsored it. And I was watching it on TV. This is right around when Tupac got, before Tupac got killed. And Khallid Muhammad was making speeches all over the country. And I remember when Khallid Muhammad and Zulu got his time reduced, and I know Khallid Muhammad then was showing the president's side of the courtroom, letting people know that these laws is unjust. And we had a lot of faith in Dr. Khallid Muhammad. That's his name. He's a doctor. And I had seen Dr. Khallid Muhammad was one of the most notable speakers in the United States back then. And I remember when Obama's pastor, Michelle Obama's pastor, got in trouble for making a speech called "Goddamned America," and I forgot his name, but I remember that speech where it came from. That speech came from Dr. Khallid Muhammad. I heard Dr. Khallid Muhammad did that speech when I was in Leavenworth, because I got to Leavenworth in 94 to 97. It was between those years that I heard that speech. And I know Dr. Khallid Muhammad used to go down to Chicago, Detroit, everywhere. He was welcome. He had a nice security staff, and he was one of the guys that was implementing having the brothers protect the projects, because I know they protected the projects in Venice, and I know they were protecting the projects in Detroit and Chicago. But just to talk about Zulu and his brother, these guys, I think Zulu's out of jail. I think he lives in Vegas, but I'm just going back on the history of these guys from the East Side. I know the Zulu and them is over there by Sammy Green's and the Pueblos and Ross Snyder's Park. And I know that Jeff had a real nice Pete Pop Warner football teams, because I remember Michael Johnson, Eric Johnson, a lot of guys, Roddy Nelson, Clarence Nelson, a lot of those guys, Crandall, and a lot of those guys came from that particular Jeff high school, and a lot of them went to the pros, because I think Curtis Martin went there. And a lot of those guys from that area, they really played really good football, and they had good baseball too. But I know me and Rodney, we ended up going to Tennessee playing in the Little League World Series. I met him at up at Ross Snyder's when we played up at Ross Snyder's. We all played for Gerald. But man, Zulu, he always was known over there by the park, and I was just being able to just talk about this guy, man. This guy is a real guy from over there. I don't know pretty much what he's doing now, but I did have an opportunity to meet him, Jeffro, and just to know that his brother was really trying to get his time down, and we all had faith because we always was trying to get our time down. We was into the feds for the crack laws, and that was 100-1, and a lot of us had these barbaric sentences. And I think that Zulu had one of these sentences, and his brother played a key role in the crack law and to the reduction of these sentences. And then, man, just to be able to have a guy like this, man, I done seen some of the most best speeches I ever heard was from Dr. Khallid Muhammad from out of South Central Los Angeles. This is what they call it, the bottoms over there. And then they always were talking about who Zulu brother was, and we all really looked up to these guys, man, and Dr. Khallid Muhammad, because I seen him travel all over the world, all over the United States, fighting for justice, and just to be able to know that these guys was into the crack laws, because they changed the law for the whites, which was LSD, but they said they was gonna change the crack laws in 1995 or 96, and we just see now that Donald Trump just changed these laws way in 2022, 23, and just to talk about Zulu, the only other Zulu I kind of really heard was a Zulu, Shaka Zulu. Yeah, that was Shaka Zulu. But just to be able to, man, be in the same prison with this guy and walk the yard with this guy was an honor. Just to be from that east side and know that we all had each other backs back then, because we was way out in Leavenworth, Kansas City, and a lot of guys that was from all out of town, different from that way, but we all stood up with each other. Zulu, Fadoos.